I don't know, but I always fall into this Sisyphean punishment.
You can't commit a sin and expect people to feel sorry for you.
Why?
Humans are animals that dance with chaos.
Even overmen.
No one can be an overman.
I've given everything for this country.
So they gave you a salad and patted you on the shoulder.
Oh, I love Nolan. He made me look cool.
So who pushed that button?
Power or greed?
I told you a long time ago.
Hi, Dr. Oppenheimer. There's no need to be so downcast.
This isn't the trial of the century. We just want to chat with you.
Easy for you to say, philosophers. You only see me staring into the abyss, but you don't see it staring back at me.
Oppenheimer, the Prometheus of the 20th century, brought fire to humanity, but also feared its potential to incinerate everything. Perhaps his contradictory human nature and sense of guilt consumed him. Nobody knows that feeling. It's like Plato's allegory of the cave. Once again, humanity is trapped by the shadows it has created.
Robert, in my opinion, your story shouldn't be simplified into an individual moral struggle. It's more like a game of power and knowledge. You were actually caught up in a larger social, cultural, and political vortex.
Sorry, are you saying it wasn't his personal choice?
This is a very complex issue, Nietzsche. Oppenheimer's experience is a perfect example of the complex relationship between knowledge and power. At every decision point, Robert was influenced by various forces such as social background and political pressure. Leading a team to develop the atomic bomb wasn't just a result of his personal ambition, it was also driven by the power structure, war background, and technological revolution. And when he later opposed the use of this weapon, it wasn't entirely because of his own morality and remorse, but also because of the social atmosphere at the time, public opinion, and his own position in the power structure. In short, Oppenheimer's subjectivity was shaped by society.
But after all, it was I who created this power to destroy the world, and then found that the world was unprepared.
The common dilemma of scientists is that knowledge is not neutral. It always accompanies the existence of power relations. In The Birth of the Prison, I described how knowledge became part of power, and in your story, knowledge was used by power to achieve its goals.
Foucault, I actually think all these choices represent his personal will. He was more aware of the danger of making an atomic bomb than anyone else, and he knew the voices of opposition, but he still chose to move forward. I'm not condemning you, Robert, because overmen can transcend mediocrity and limitations. They are not bound by traditional morals and social norms, and can autonomously determine their values and behavioral standards. Your ambition to pursue success in science surpassed your concerns for traditional morality, and ultimately achieved human self-transcendence, which is very close to the traits of overman.
This is why your theory is controversial, Nietzsche.
Slave morality evaluates things in terms of good and evil, while master morality only cares about the best solution.
No, we just believe that using the atomic bomb could end the war.
Forget it. Japan had already decided to surrender, and the US government was aware of this, as clearly documented in your biography.
No one in the project team knew.
See, this is the influence of power on knowledge.
I did my best to stop all of this.
Oh, Robert. How do you explain that poisonous apple? Pressing the button when you know it could destroy the world, even if the probability is only 1 in 10,000.
You had many opportunities to speak out, but you chose to remain silent.
Why can't you be like me, honestly accepting the bloodthirsty and dark side in your body, admitting that you actually value your desires more? Oh, I prefer the scarecrow in Batman. As Lewis Strauss said, if given another chance, you would make the same choice. This is eternal recurrence.
But Nietzsche, why did Robert's attitude change dramatically afterwards? Moral choices are not based on fixed values, but are shaped by society, historical context, and power relations. The shaping power of social discourse determines what is considered true and legitimate. In the context of the Cold War, creating a powerful weapon was seen as the right choice. But then, another social discourse began to emerge, one that was concerned about the nuclear winter and the future of life. This made Oppenheimer question the use of the weapon. The definition of right and wrong is largely determined by the current social structure and discourse.
I agree with some of your views. Power is playing a moral game. When an atomic bomb is needed, they advocate master morality. and tell stories about what is the best choice. And when martialism is needed, they promote slave morality and reevaluate things in terms of the so-called good and evil. But ultimately, these moral conflicts require human will as a medium. What do you think, Robert?
I don't know, but I always fall into this Sisyphean punishment. I am so eager to succeed in the experiment, but on the other hand, no one can understand how afraid I am of the atomic bomb being used.
These two ideas almost occur simultaneously. And there's that poisonous apple. And Jean's suicide, I always let the devil drive me. And then try frantically to make amends.
You can't commit a sin and expect people to feel sorry for you.
But we're all sinning, and we all want others to sympathize.
Why?
Because humans are animals that dance with chaos.
Even overman.
No one can be an overman. You once approached it, but then returned to the pity and morality of an ordinary person. So it's painful.
I've given everything for this country.
So they gave you a salad and patted you on the shoulder.
There's no right or wrong, just like Nolan's movie.
Oh, I love Nolan. He made me look cool.
So who pushed that button?
Power or greed?
You know it could destroy the world.
I told you a long time ago.
Keen, this is an AI-generated program, right?
Of course, Simone de Beauvoir is still waiting for you.
Robert, I think the new button is already in front of us. Do you have an answer?
Yes, I think I will always answer.